Okay, this is Duke's oil drain tool. It's a semi-hermetic compressor, oil change device tool, and I'm going to show how this thing, how we install it, and I'm going to show how the instructions will help you use it on other types of compressors also. Okay, I'm pulling it out of the package. Here's the instructions on how to use it on compressors that do not have 45-degree oil ports. I'm going to set this over here temporarily for right now. We'll get back to it later. Right now, when you install the device, you take it out, obviously, and make sure that the valve is closed on it. And then you can use the wing nut to help you assist in screwing it in place. It'll help you screw it in place. And once it gets to a certain tightness, you can tighten it pretty good, with your fingers before having to worry about it, if anything going wrong. And then when you back it off, you finish tightening with a 9/16 wrench, and you don't usually have to tighten it very much more. That's probably good right there. Back it off, and now you can slide the tube all the way to the bottom of the crankcase. Now it's in touch with the bottom of the crankcase. You can snug it up pretty good, finger tight. Again, make sure this is closed. Install the clear plastic hose assembly right there. And like I said, it's clear plastic. You can see the oil when it starts flowing through it. And then pressurize the crankcase to 10 psi. Pressurize to 10 psi. There it is, about 10 psi. So you don't need any more, because if you over pressurize it, it'll make the oil foam. And then you just come over here and open up the valve, and there's your oil flowing, and it just flows into the bucket, and you just open it up all the way, and it'll flow. And if you keep the camera on that hose, sometimes you can see the oil level going down. It'll probably be somewhere in the area of maybe 2 whole minutes. You might want to stop and start again. I don't know. It's up to you.
I got plenty of movie.
Yeah.
Because we can cut it all.
And one of the cool things is, if you're doing a whole rack, it's good to have a couple of these, because you can have this one going and run over here and get another one started, and then keep looking back. And in a real noisy motor room, you keep an eye on this hose right here. And when you see the bubbles in this hose, which you'll see here in a little bit, then you know that it's empty. And now you can pull the screen bolt off for the oil screen, and clean the screen and put it back in. It's pretty good slow flow there. One other thing to keep in mind while this is draining is here's the instructions for assembling the clear plastic hose. The hose itself is actually 3/16. It's one size smaller, and the reason for that is the barb fitting on this quarter-inch flare is 1/4 inch. So you got to heat this up to 80 degrees. Get a little bit of oil on it, press it on there. You don't have to ever worry about it falling off, because the barb will just stick it on there, and you won't ever lose it. Anyways, obviously I'm not an actor, but yeah. The cool thing is, all this is happening and you're not making a mess. So that's what I like about it. I originally designed this because I'm one of those pansies that don't like getting oil all over them. Right? So anyways.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
Right. Bear in mind, it's not a real good idea to raise the pressure up a lot higher, because if the pressure goes up too high, accidentally, if you accidentally run this up to 100 pounds, this valve can shoot out of there. You know, if you don't have this, you don't have it tight enough, it can shoot out of there. So you have to be careful about that. Probably going to be a few minutes.
It's okay.
Okay,
I've got plenty of film.
good deal.
Anticipation.
It's making me wait.
I was gonna say, all right, yeah, you can edit the sound out.
Oh, he's going to cut and paste all this.
Yeah, we'll cut it all up, make it a 1 minute.
He's probably going to
video.
take all my narration out of it, you know. Don't listen to that guy.
Yeah, we can dub you.
We can dub the narration back in it, you know.
Yeah, what's that guy that does all the narration? He narrates all the time. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman.
There you go.
Oh, wouldn't that be good?
There it is. Oh,
No, it ain't. Oh, yeah,
There it is.
that's it. There's the end of the air coming out.
yeah. And if you were really paying attention to
Look.
telling stories,
You made this
well,
empty.
it wouldn't have been a mess if it hadn't flew out of there. Here is how you use this tool on a compressor that does not have a 45-degree crankcase pressure port like this. These compressors over here have it. Other compressors don't. It's a 90-degree pressure port. Once you get the measurements of the height of the port, which I just measured this compressor over here, it's 4 inches. The center of the compressor is 5.5 inches. You slide the side fitting up to the valve. You take the end of this and you put it at 5.5 inches like this. And then you bend the copper really easily like this until it's over here at 4.5 inches. See, there you go. And it doesn't have to be perfect at all. It can be, it doesn't have to be perfect at all. It can be off a little bit like that. Now, you go over to the compressor that has it doesn't have a 45-degree port, and you put it in there, and then you bend it over, and you bring it up. When you get it like that, then you loosen it up, put it in place, and then screw it in place. There it goes. Okay, and tighten it the rest of the way with a 9/15 wrench that I left over here. I should have put it in my back pocket.
We can put music on this,
All right.
What song do you think we should put
Go
on
like
here?
that, and now you're ready. Pressurize the tank, open the valve. That tube is at the bottom of the crankcase. Now you're going to empty this compressor that doesn't have the 45-degree oil port. That's all there is to it.
Okay. Now,
And then you're removing it just like you put it in, so it's at the bottom. Okay. And now you just take it in your hands, because it's copper, and you can just straighten it right back up. And all you really have to do is. And as you're doing the process, the back of this card shows the instructions. 0 psi when you're preparing the compressor for installation of the tool. And then once you get it installed with the valve closed, raise the pressure to 10 psi for getting all the oil out. Once you see bubbles in the hose, the clear plastic hose, run it back down to, you can clean the oil screen, run it back down to 0 PSI, and now you can hit the slide fitting. You can move this back up to like right about there. And now we can use the oil pump and fill it back up.
Okay, what are you doing?
Okay, now we're just gonna fill the compressor back up with oil, with brand new oil, fresh oil. Fills back up. I raise the tube back up to the higher level so that you don't get a siphoning effect. Like I said, if it happens to leak a little bit, it's not a real big deal. Watch the sight glass. This might not be enough oil. Probably should have grabbed a new one.
I think they get to drift.
All right, well, that's the important thing. Yeah, see, it's...
Yeah, you got plenty of oil in there. You can see it on the bottom of the sight glass.
Not really. Should I grab the new one?
Well, I don't know. Yes.
Okay. Get that rag out of there.
Yeah, you can see the oil coming up in the sight glass.
All right. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's on the very bottom of it. See it coming up?
These things hold. There it is. There it is. There's quite a bit of oil in just one pump of these pumps. There it is. Half a sight glass.
There you go.
Copeland News.